So here is my hydroponic herb garden. I've also just got some celery. I literally just had celery from the store and I just chopped off the base, as you can see here. Here, I can take it out too, just to like show. And it's got some roots. I just put it in water and it's growing more from like the top here. I had this starfruit seed that my dad gave me when he went to Florida, and it sprouted, but I checked the roots, and as you can kind of see from the actual thing, and the the fruit fly is walking around inside here, I think it is not gonna make it, unfortunately. So that's a bummer. I thought I'm realizing it's not too hard to get a seed to sprout. I mean, especially when you have it in like a soil medium or something. But it's hard to keep it, sorry, I'm adjusting these leaves up here. It's hard to keep it going from there. And that's why I think, I really do like this hydroponic system. I got it on Amazon, and I really like it. It works really well. I mean, these herbs are growing like crazy, as you can see. Yeah, they're like pretty overgrown. But yeah, as you can see, it's got this little grow light, and then over down here you can sort of see the roots in the water. And there's like a little nutrient solution that you put in there, and it's basically just that, and you just kind of add water as needed. And yeah, a lot of these herbs, I mean, especially the basil and the dill, are like rapidly growing. But I will say some of them, like, I don't know if it's just certain slots, like even like here you can see, like, I'm gonna just push this back a little bit, but right here you can see like this thyme is obviously very little, and then this tulsi, also known as holy basil, also super little, and this was all planted at the same time, just a FYI. So yeah, I think it's just that certain spots get better light, maybe, or that like these kind of block some of these guys that are down here. Anyways, but overall, I like it. I honestly think I might get another one, because I have a bunch of different seeds that I was just gonna do as, regular planting in a pot like this, but I'm just realizing it's a little challenging to get the watering correct, like to get it to have enough water, but not so much that it ends up rotting like this. I'm assuming, I checked the roots and they looked like they were probably rotted. If any botanists are watching or any horticultural experts, you can let me know. But I think that's what's going on. This happened to these two other seeds that I planted as well in this similar manner. They started drooping over, and I wasn't sure what was going on, but yeah, I think it must have been that. I also saved some seeds from these like miniature bell peppers, and I think the same thing is happening with those, and I planted them the same way. So, you know, I'm assuming based on the evidence that it must be this method is not great. So I'm gonna try those in a different way. I mean, because this is the same bell pepper plant, and as you can see, this one right here is thriving. And then back here, you can barely see, but I'm just propagating some mint. I just got it from the store. I just put it in a little glass soup jar that I obviously ate all the soup, well, drank all the soup and replaced with water. Oh, I've got this other grow light here. And then, yeah, so you can see there's roots on this mint. Yay. I've got these two little succulent pieces that I just got from, I live in LA now, and I just got them from a plant that was at a cafe that I went to. And you can see this little guy has like a tiny little pink root right there, and then this guy has a little shoot out. So that's fun. And then this is just I just took a bulb of garlic, separated out the cloves. As you can see, I cut a piece of this green garlic to use for some toast, some avocado toast yesterday. And yeah, these are doing great. Rooted, growing, amazing. And then funny enough, there's a thing of green onion in there too. That I bought green onion, and then I just, I used it, and then I just took the base of it and put it in the same little bowl. And usually they're already, oh, my neighbors are doing something. But usually they're already rooted when you get them in the store, so that's amazing. Just showing another view here. This is another, see, you can sort of see the chives right here, kind of. We've got one little piece, but we got, I mean, a few more, but it's not as growing as much as the basil, which is like flopping over because it's so tall. And this dill, same situation. I used some of this for my avocado toast too. And then we've got this purslane here, which is like, I didn't think it was gonna make it, but it's going strong still. You can see the roots a lot better from this angle. Here you go. This is, I chopped some lettuce that I got from just, once again, the store. And it's that like butter lettuce? I forget what it's called, but it has those really soft leaves. And I tried to propagate the base here in some water. And it looks like, let me get the angle right. You can sort of see barely this, there you go. You can see like little tiny bits sticking up that it's trying to shoot out. We'll see. I think I might have cut it, like down too far for it to work. And then I saved the seed from my avocado. Sorry, I keep talking about this avocado toast. And then this, I just wanted to point out, I got these like teeny little tiny cherry tomatoes from Trader Joe's that I also put on my avocado toast. And I saved the seeds, and I planted, this was not the same avocado toast. This was like about, I don't know, maybe a week ago, maybe a little more. But yeah, so they've sprouted up, and that's exciting. And then I couldn't talk about avocados without mentioning this avocado seed that I saved from a long time ago. I think this was almost like 6-7 months ago or something. I don't know, but it's got roots. It shot out its little leaves and it's, yeah, thriving. I guess I'll just go through all my plants now since this is kind of just a random video. This is just monstera leaves that I basically, funny, but my parents were staying at a hotel room and I saw a monstera there in their hotel room, and I just took a couple of leaves. As you can see, they got like a little I think sunburned or something, because I had them like over there, but I was getting too much sun, so I moved them. But anyways, they've gotten tons of roots. I'll just turn this around. Tons of roots here. Awesome. Amazing. And my favorite thing is this amazing aerial root. Isn't that just like the most, I think that I don't think I've ever seen this before on such a small monstera. I'm just floored, honestly. But yeah, and then over here we have this tiny little palm. This guy gets a little dried up. I don't know if I'm not watering it enough or it's getting too much sun, maybe. I watered it today though, yeah, so I don't know. I haven't had a palm before like this, with these just really like fine leaves. So if anyone has any tips, definitely comment below. And then this is a paper white, which is a flower. Sorry, whoops. I just basically, I think I got this around Christmas. That's when they usually sell these type of thing. And it had these nice little white flowers, but yeah, it's still going strong. I'm honestly surprised because I was away during like the holidays back in North Carolina, and this guy like toughed it out. I mean, it's a forced bulb, but I honestly, I'm shocked. Like, anyways, it's still going strong. I guess the ends of it get a little kind of messed up. I don't know why, but yeah, anyways, I think, I don't know, maybe I should give this one some more sun. But yeah, and I had this rosemary and this lavender that was both of them were shaped like a tiny little Christmas tree, and those just completely did not survive me being gone. Those are pretty finicky. I don't know why I bought those knowing that I was gonna go away. That was not smart. But anyways, here's just this little orchid, also from, I think I got this from Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. I picked this rosemary somewhere locally, and it is not producing roots. It is also kind of dried up, so I don't think that's gonna be anything. We've got this plant I bought locally. This is one I actually transported from North Carolina, and it practically died, but I was able to like propagate these little pieces of it and basically save it, which like it's I think one of, other than my cacti, all my cacti were fine, because obviously, you know, they're pretty resilient. But all of my other plants, my beloved Monstera died on the way, because I think just, you know, in sort of that western zone, it's just so hot and dry, and, you know, even being in my car didn't matter. Anyways, here's an aloe plant, which also survived the move, and is growing a little bit. Cactus, which I moved. This I got just like a week ago or something. It's sorrel, which is actually an edible plant. I'm just gonna prune it because it's got some leaves here. Whatever, I'll do that later. But yeah, someone mentioned to me that you could eat sorrel, and she was saying she really liked this green, so I wanted to try it, and it also looks very cute. So yeah, and then this I had been trying to get to root forever, and it finally got some amazing roots. I don't want to disturb it too much, but it is finally rooted, and it's just, I literally got it from outside my apartment because it is all over this area in LA where I live, and it's just this little succulent, and I love it, and it's just fun that I have like a little native plant here. And then this is just a few pothos leaves that came off that I'm trying to root. I don't think we've got any. This is from the parlor palm. This just fell off, and it is growing new like leaves here, but it's got this, I want to focus. It's got this tiny little amount of root, and so just waiting on that to happen. I don't think there's, yeah, no, none of these are rooted. This silly cactus, my gosh, I've had this one for a very long time, and it's just got these like 3 little guys on top that it shot out, and this is another one I've had forever, since I was in college. This is one that one of my friends in Philly gave me. Hi, Top, if you're watching this. And then this is some pineapple sage, which I have learned is very finicky with water. It loves water. So, and this one is kind of too. And then I've had this one forever too. But yeah, this one smells amazing. You can put it in like a tea or something, which I'm excited about. Lovely, lovely. Just a mini tour of my altar here. I think I'm gonna reorganize it because it's just kind of a mess, to be honest. And I just kind of threw it together when I was moving in, and I just haven't really taken the time to, you know, make it look the way I want it to, but generally speaking, it's kind of how I want it. This is my new Monstera I got locally from a nursery. This is some like false clover. Also loves water. This is another piece of that succulent. I don't know, has this one rooted? No, looks kind of like it's struggling a little bit here. We've got a little Venus flytrap back there, and I just keep it in like this water thing. I don't know what to, tray, I guess, with these little marble things. And then we got the pothos, which I don't know why, like, some of these leaves are just, like, looking kind of, but yeah, I don't know. This one looks much better. So, and this one is one of those that has, like, the kind of, like, little white speckling, which I love. So this is honeysuckle I need to plant. I also got on Etsy some rhizomes for Hawaiian ginger, which is also known as shampoo plant. And this little olive tree, sorry, like all the planting stuff that I have is just laid out on the floor, but anyways, there's this olive tree I need to pot. Then out here we have these 3 daffodil bulbs, which I brought with me from Philly. They were all together, and you'll see some more. They were all squeezed into one little pot, and I separated them out to give them room. This is a blueberry. Oh, maybe you can see that there. Little bush, but yeah, no blueberries from there yet. Strawberry, which you can see there's this one, it's not quite ready. Well, same with these, but I've gotten about I have these 2 strawberry plants and then this one over here, and this one has some flowers that are gonna eventually be strawberries, but I've gotten about 10 so far, and it's about mid-April, so I got new lavender and rosemary, as you can see, just locally. This is a lime tree, my little solar-powered flamingo, and this is producing some flowers. Sorry for the airplane. This is producing some flowers, as you can see. And I don't know if that means that it'll be producing limes soon, but I hope so. And then behind it here, we've got this bird and butterfly mix. I don't know why it's only growing on this one little side, but this fake grass, obviously. And then we've got this, which is monarch butterfly attracting. Once again, only growing over here. I don't know, maybe maybe I'll rotate it and see if that helps. Rotate this guy too. Then we've got daffodil, the rest of them. They were all crammed into here, can you believe that? And then this is asparagus. Just planted this. This is what I was talking about before, where I had a bunch of the pepper seeds, and I planted all of them around the same time as the one in the hydroponic set, and you can see these are not doing as well. They were at first, like they sprouted easily, as I kind of mentioned, but I don't know what happened. There's a crow. Smart birds. This here, sprouting pretty well. Once again, not really like in this middle area. I don't know what's up with that. This is a hummingbird haven. And then this one here, sprouting nicely. This is a pollinator mix. As you can tell, I'm really trying to attract the birds and the bees. And the butterflies, of course. And then bumblebee buffet. But yeah, I'm trying to get the pollinators to come to my garden and pollinate my strawberries and limes so that I can actually produce some limes and have some homegrown limes and more strawberries. And this here is just some garlic that I think is probably dying. But yeah, this is a fairy meadow flower mix. I'm gonna plant it in here, even though it's a little late to be planting it. And I want to put like little fairy figurines in it. I don't actually know why it's called Fairy Meadow, but yeah.
It's a swimming time.
The mom is like, all right, we're gonna turn around.
Yeah, I think the mom's lost.
This is a salad I made with baby gem lettuce from Erewhon. I got some carrots from the farmer's market, and so I put the carrot greens in there. These teeny tiny cherry tomatoes from Trader Joe's. Some dill and lemon drop basil from my little herb garden. A little bit of green onion. Microgreens. And then I just made a dressing that was Dijon mustard, avocado oil, balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper, a dash of maple syrup to cut the bitterness, lemon juice, and just like the stem of the dill to like infuse it. And yeah, I think that is everything that I put in here. And it is good. 10 out of 10. So I made this little stir-fry noodle thing. Basically, it has just extra firm tofu, soy sauce, some ginger. You can't see it because I just kind of like shredded it in there. Green onions. This basil that I grew. It's specifically lemon drop basil, so it has like a lemony vibe. And then this is just miracle noodles. And then yeah, I just kind of did this all, added the garnish on top. Yeah, and then I've got my little water here just with some mint leaves from my mint plant too. Okay, today we have this sweet pea ravioli from Tabitha Brown. And then I just put this vegan pesto from Trader Joe's and some vegan parm, which I grated up in one of those fancy restaurant cheese grater things. And it's from the brand Follow Your Heart. They have really good vegan cheese in general. And then I just put some more of that lemon drop basil from my herb garden on top. So I cut off some of the basil flowers, as you can see here, and I just put them in oil to infuse it. I also put some of these basil leaves at the bottom. My little bell pepper plant is doing really well, creating a lot of little peppers. Little one right here. Yeah. Just some more updates. This is some monstera cuttings, just continuing to grow. The root is just wild. Got my little orchid. It's got this pretty new leaf. Some of the flowers fell off. That's okay. This rosemary that I was propagating, I or that I am propagating. It's got some roots on it. Let me see if I can show that. You can see the roots kind of. Same avocado here, hasn't really grown. Some other plants here. Same old, same old. Paperwhite, it's going dormant now. This avocado seed is growing roots, as you can see. These other little just cuttings of my little parlor palm and some just pothos, some local plants here, and another piece of parlor palm propagating here. This one have any roots? Yeah, little bit of a root growing here. These ones are also getting roots. Sideways guy here. This one's just getting brown. I've been watering it, but I don't know, just struggling. This one started kind of struggling a lot when I went to India, but it's actually doing fine. Pothos, just watered that because it was looking a little droopy. Same with the Monstera here, looking a little droopy, so I watered all these. This fern has been struggling for a while now. And then my little Venus flytrap. My little Venus flytrap here started getting some little buds, some little like flower buds almost. Trying to get this to focus on that, but anyways, interesting. This basil is just wild. It's honestly just taking over everything else really. But yeah, I've got some mint I'm propagating here. Same celery here. Some little spring onion. I've cut some little pieces to like get it to keep growing. I cut this and it's just like kind of looking a little sad, but it's clearly thriving either way. So, and then this over here in front of it is Thai basil. It's kind of hard to tell which is which, but the lemon drop basil, which is the really big one, is the one that's really thriving. And then this little tiny cherry tomato plant, after I got back from India, I don't know if it's because of the dehydration or what, but it got some little like aphids, and so it's been struggling a little bit. So we'll see. Some of my other ones I had to start over because they just got too infected, but we'll see. And I'm starting some new garlic propagation here, green garlic, just kind of letting it do its thing since I have been traveling. So while I was gone, my plants mostly did not do well, but this asparagus started to sprout. This little native succulent, of course, is doing well. I actually do not know what happened to the other one. It just kind of disappeared. I guess it decomposed. And then daffodils, sort of doing all right. No more blossoms on this lime tree, so hoping that that comes back. Just gonna give it a little help here. Olive tree growing, struggling. Surprisingly, the strawberry plant actually is getting some new leaves. Other daffodils struggling. This is growing. I think any plant person can speak to the fact that it's just such a bummer when your plants don't make it. And it's, especially if you're traveling a lot like I do, it can be kind of hard because you're just not there to like water them and monitor them really. Like I think 90% of keeping your plants alive is really just monitoring them. But I think it's tough because it's like you put in so much time and effort and energy, even money sometimes. Like some plants are expensive, and yeah, so it's hard when they don't make it. But I think my dream one day is to have just a big kind of garden in my yard, like almost a farm, but like a mini farm. Like it would really only be to like serve me and like my own, maybe if I have like a family or something, it would just be for that. Like it wouldn't be like a commercial farm or anything like that. I think that would just be too much. I don't think I'm capable of that. But I think one day, I would hopefully have sort of the resources like sprinkler systems or, like a greenhouse or something like that, that would make it easier. I think, yeah, it's just like sad, and like you come back from your travel and you're all sad and stressed about your plants, and like, I think it's also probably like an evolutionary thing. Like I think we're almost probably like hardwired to be super disappointed or feel like an intense sense of dread or like fear when our plants die, because if you think about it, back in the day, like that would be a way more serious problem. Obviously today it's like, okay, I can just go to the grocery store and it's fine, but like I think there's still that sort of maybe thing in your brain that's like, oh, like this is really bad. But I think, like anything else, it's like it's a disappointment. It is, sometimes feels like, oh, I put in all this effort for nothing. But it's like, you're learning through experience, and hey, one day maybe I will have a sprinkler system that I can in a backyard where it's like less likely for plants to die, because it's when they're just in pots, it's just a lot more trial and error. I think one thing I have learned is using the little like glass bulb things to like that you fill with water and then you stick it in your plants, and they use osmosis to basically take the water when they need it. That can work for a lot of plants that don't need as much water, like most like house plants like pothos, monstera, things like that. Like those are very, very effective. But yeah, and then it's like you learn little things like that. I've learned that like if I can have a friend come over and take care of my plants, that's always great. I've learned that like neem oil is a good repellent for if you have like an aphid problem or something like that. I ended up just scrapping a lot of my plants that got aphids on them. I was just like, this, because they were all like herbs and stuff, and I was just like, this is just too much to deal with, so I just threw them out. But I think also composting is really rewarding, because then it doesn't feel like your plants are just like getting trashed and just going to waste. It's like, at least it's kind of like making something new. I don't think you can compost plants with bugs on it, if I'm correct. But again, it's like, I feel like that's only true for like composting in like a bucket, which is like what I'm trying to start doing. Because, you know, of course, living in an apartment in like a city, I don't have like a yard or something like that. But once again, one day we can all dream. One day, hopefully, I'll have like a big yard and I can just have like a big compost pile that I just kind of throw all my yard waste and vegetable scraps and whatnot into. And it probably wouldn't really matter about bugs because they would just be outside, so it's like whatever. So anyways, just a little plant lecture, I guess.